Hello and welcome back to your South King County real estate update. My name is Sarah Eggleston with Stone Egg Realty at John L. Scott, and I am here to deliver your weekly real estate news for South King County. All right, I'll go ahead and get jumped right into the slides. So today is October 22nd, 2021. What happened this week? Oh, it's not actually Blue Friday. It's going to be Blue Monday. But last Sunday, the Steelers did take away a win in OT. The overtime I got to watch that and was just, God, what a nail biter. It was such a good game. So it's a little disappointing that the Seahawks didn't come away with the win on this one, but it was such a great game. So next game is Monday. Blue Monday is coming. 5:15 on Monday. They'll take on the Saints. And here's a little save the date for you. I have a home buying class coming up. And that'll be Sunday, November 7th at 1 p.m. You can register on Eventbrite. There's an event on my Facebook page that has a link to the Eventbrite, or you can scan this code and that'll take you right to the Eventbrite page. But you'll need to register on that Eventbrite site in order to receive the access code for the event. And this is kind of like the Buyer 101 class. Basically, what do I need to know about buying a home in order to get started? What can I expect throughout the process? And who's involved? All of those details are answered in this class. So what happened this week? Well, you may have remembered me talking about a couple that I've been working with. They have put in a few offers and we have not come out on top. Put another one in on Monday. And once again, we came in second place. However, the listing agent did reach out and asked if we were interested in a backup offer. So I reached out to my clients and said, hey, would you like to be involved in this backup offer? So if anything happens to this first deal, if the first deal that's currently pending falls through, you'll automatically fall into first position and it won't go back on the market. It'll just go straight to you. So they said, yes, we would absolutely love that. So we have now a mutual contract that is a backup offer. So what this means is we are going to keep shopping for a home. We're going to go out over the weekend and look for more homes. And if they like one, we'll look at the offer that we're putting together, and for the new home, if they like it better than the old home that we're currently have the backup offer on, we'll take the backup offer away and go for this new home. But at least we have something in the pipeline for them, possibly if the first deal falls through. So it's good to have a little bit of a backup plan. So that's why we're gonna keep hunting and see if we can find something that they like even better. And who knows, they may get this house that they have the backup offer on, or we may find something else that we want to put an offer on this weekend or the weekend after. So I'll go ahead and jump back into the slides. So this came out of the Seattle PI. Seattle homebuyers saw some reprieve in September, but perennial problems persist. Zillow issued their latest report in analyzing the difference between August and September this year compared to the year before. And home prices rose 1.2% between August and September this year. So that is kind of turning the dial down, since we've shot up 22.7% since September 2020. Home prices have just exploded, and we are starting to see that kind of cap off on the home price increase. So this is a quote from the economist at Zillow, senior economist at Zillow. The housing market continued its gradual return to some semblance of normalcy in September, helped by the typical seasonal cooling cool down in shopping conditions that we expect to see every fall. So we generally see a decrease in demand this time of year. It's happened a little bit, and I think it's a little more regional, because I've seen some conflicting stats as far as the September numbers, but I think that's because it depends on whether you're looking at regional or national or where in the region you're looking. And homes are still selling quickly and prices have not receded, but it's not quite as extreme as seller's market as we saw back in the spring or summer. That is definitely true. It has calmed down a lot. The number of listings with a price cut rose from 10.8% in August to 12.2% in September. So this is a signal that buyers are pushing back against high pricing, and those homes that are not priced at or below market value are sitting on the market a little bit longer and having to go through a price reduction in order to find a buyer. Available inventory fell 2.2% between the 2 months, but 25% from 2 years ago. So that is, we're still lacking inventory for our market. And rent prices have increased 11.8% since this time last year in the Seattle area. From the National Association of Realtors, this actually came out today. Realtors Confidence Index report is out, and fall housing market starts off on a calmer note. So the market is cooling off due to market fundamentals plus the seasonal decline in market activity. Normally, we expect to see that this time of year, but there's a lot that happened to kind of explode our industry, and now we're seeing that dial back a little bit. The first share of first-time buyers decreased to 28%, 29% in the prior month, and 31% a year ago. And the last time the share went down this low was in January 2015. That is a little discouraging. First-time buyers are just having trouble finding a foothold getting in the market. 23% of buyers waived their appraisal contingency. So that means when the bank sends out their appraiser to confirm the value of the home that they're making the loan on, 23% of buyers said, if it appraises low, I'll cover the difference. No problem. I'll bring extra cash to the table. 25% had a delayed settlement based on appraisal issues. 25% of homes had to extend their closing date because of appraisal issues. As things cool down and our home value increase is kind of slowing down and maintaining more of a steady pace rather than explosive pace, we will see less low appraisal issues. So here's a chart of the share of first-time home buyers to existing home sales. We've just ticked down over the last couple of years, and now we're at 28%, and we haven't seen that low of a number in quite a long time. And here's that percent of contracts with delayed settlement due to appraisal issues. Over time, we're hanging out right around 15% or so, and now we're up to 25%. So just thought that was an interesting chart to show. Existing home sales surge as interest rates point higher. Existing home sales in September compared with August rose 7%. Sales were actually down 2.3% from September of last year, but that's kind of after a very delayed spring market last year because of the shutdown. Stay-at-home orders, no one was out shopping for homes. So once they were finally allowed to go out and shop for homes, had decided that they wanted more space for their families to stretch out during the pandemic, they kind of hit the market by storm. And September last year, we had a ton of sales. So compared to that, we were down 2.3%. The increase in sales in the latest month, I would attribute to mortgage rates. And this is from NAR's chief economist, Lawrence Yun. This autumn season looks to be one of the best autumn home sale seasons in 15 years. So there's a lot more sales on the market compared to how many homes are on the market. There's a lot going on here, but people are concerned, and rightfully so, about interest rates rising in the future. So they're trying to get into the market now and buy something while they can still get this low interest rate. Economists expect interest rates to rise up to 4% over the next year, not 4% increase, but rise to 4% as the Federal Reserve takes control of inflation. So there's been a lot of concern about inflation in our industry, and that would generally lead to higher interest rates. The median home sale price jumped 13.3% since September of last year on a nationwide basis, this to 352,800, which our area is much higher, but as on a national scale, this number is kind of mind-blowing. And homes purchased in cash rose 23% in September from the previous month. Individual investors who account for many cash sales accounted for 13% of all home sales last month. Since we did have a sharp increase in sales last month, but there are signs that, as I mentioned before, are showing that increase in home value is decreasing. Buyers are pushing back against these high rates, and overpriced homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer. And that brings us to our market stat minute. So we did remain pretty steady on our pending and sold listings this past week, but we dropped down on our new listings to 640. We had 1,032 pending and 889 sold. And here is our weekly showing graph for North America. Our showings are remaining pretty steady throughout this time period, and we have kind of passed where we were in 2019, just barely, but we're meeting right up along with that line. And last week, our weekly mortgage rate average was at 3.05. This week, inflation, Fed action set stage for higher mortgage rates. This week, we're at 3.09. In April, it peaked at 3.18, but a year ago, we were at 2.8. So we have increased a fair amount over the course of the year. We hit a low in January. This is not unexpected. We can't stay at historical rock bottom lows forever. The Fed has announced that, or is expected to announce its timetable for reducing its monthly bond purchases. And signals from the Fed and signs that inflation remain pervasive set the stage for mortgage rates to move even higher in the coming months. So last December, the Fed said it would buy $120 billion a month in bonds. So that definitely pushed the interest rates down. Interest rates and the 10-year bond are really interconnected. But the consumer price index, a key measure of inflation, climbed 5.4% in September from a year earlier. This is far higher than we would want to see, but also with all the money our government pumped into our economy last year, not unexpected. And the last time the inflation rate ran higher than the average rate on a 30-year home loan was in August 1980. So that's where we are at right now. With mortgage rates coming off rock bottom levels, the average rate on a 30-year mortgage has hit an all-time low of 2.65 in January and has been on a wavy uptick since then. So as mortgage rates increase, homebuyers have less buying power. Their dollar will go not quite as far as mortgage rates go higher, but we do expect interest rates to remain historically low for quite some time. So as of today, our daily mortgage rate is 3.27 for the 30-year fixed. This comes from Mortgage News Daily yesterday, basically stating that we are at basically the worst point in the mortgage rate graph since March. Things have been rising up pretty quickly over the last little bit. I'll go ahead and wrap this up by saying, remember to save the date for November 7th, Sunday, November 7th. It's your home buying journey. kind of my buyer 101 class. So if you are even just curious about what it takes to buy a home, even if you're not thinking about moving forward with it for a little bit, I really encourage you to attend. I would love to have you there, ask questions, feel free to engage. And the reason I got into this job is I wanted to make a difference in people's lives, and helping first-time home buyers is honestly like the biggest joy for me in my job. So there's nothing like handing a key over to a first-time buyer. And I have had several buyers that have taken my class, or several people that have taken my class end up being buyers with me shortly after that. So if you have questions, please feel free to reach out. My phone number and email address are on the screen. I would love to have a conversation with you about the real estate market and what's happening in your area, or what it might take to purchase your first home. Make sure to sign up for my class. I look forward to having you there. And I will be back here next week, Friday at 3 p.m. And I will see you then. Have a great week.